Hey Capricorn, thanks for visiting. There's a noise already. I'm going to try and ignore it. Yeah, this is a reading for March the 12th. I know, to March the 17th. And I don't know what that sounds like. It sounds like a buses dying outside my window. I don't know what it is, but if you like this reading, please please subscribe, please leave a comment if you'd like to. I'm sorry, I'll try and be serious. I don't mind if you leave a comment or not. I'm just happy for you to listen to this. You might not want to listen to this because of this noise going on outside, but I'm just going to keep going. I'm not going to let it stop me. So I'm going to start your reading right now. So the first card you have your past is the Four of Pentacles. Yeah. I'm seeing this quite literally, actually. Not that you have a coin on top of your head, but I think you might have been a little bit worried about how you're going to pay for something, actually. I think this might be about something that hasn't happened yet, but it's something kind of that you're planning at this time. It's something that's ahead of you. And I think, you've covered all the basic things with this, but you might be a little bit worried about hidden things. Some hidden things that might come up that you hadn't kind of allowed for. I just think you need to trust yourself around this. I think you're organized, and you just need to trust that. You just need to trust yourself. You just need to let this go. I'm not seeing any problems around this at all. And if there are problems that come up, you can deal with them easily. So please don't stress about that if this is what you're going through right now. I think there are also some people who can help you if you do get into a situation where you need someone. I'm seeing two specific people that could help you, actually. So don't turn your back on people who want to help you if you need them as well, like this man's turning his back on the town and all the people in the town. So, I know you're self-reliant and I know you like to have it all together, and you do have yourself together. You really do. You're known for having it all together. But if you need it, there's help there. But also, I don't think you're going to need it. So don't worry about that. Everything's going to be absolutely fine. That's what I'm seeing. It's all going to go well, especially around money. I think you've really allowed for quite a good, quite a realistic and good budget. It's all going to work well with whatever this thing you're planning on. The next card you have your past is the High Priestess. Right, I'm actually seeing someone who was definitely interested in you. This is romantically, and it might have been someone who you were seeing, and you might have been seeing them briefly, actually. If it was a relationship, it definitely wasn't a long-lasting one. I'm actually seeing someone who's a little bit unsure of you, a little bit afraid. It's not that they're unsure of you or whether they want you. They're just a little bit, I don't know, I'll try and explain this to you. I mean, obviously the High Priestess is a spiritual, intuitive card. So they might have been a little bit afraid of something around your spirituality or your beliefs. It might have been something like that. I think they found something like that challenging about you. I think they're still thinking about you. But sometimes the High Priestess can be a sort of untouchable woman, a woman who has, knowledge, but she's sort of unobtainable, if that makes sense. She's up high, she's untouchable, I think. And I think this is how this person saw you, and I think they still see you like this. So I think you might even hide that side of yourself sometimes, that kind of a spiritual side, because you're afraid of this reaction I'm seeing this person had here. But I think they are still interested in you. They're a bit afraid, I'm getting that. And they might even be a little bit intimidated as well. I don't think you're trying to be intimidated. You don't ever try to be intimidating. But you do seem, there are a lot of things that you do seem to have it all together. I was seeing that in the Four of Pentacles. You're just like, I have it all together. I know what I'm doing. Plus you have this other kind of alternative side, maybe, that's a little bit mysterious to them. And they kind of struggle with that a bit as well. I think they might contact you again. And if they do, of course, this is all up to you as to whether you want to continue with this or not. But I think it's going to take a lot of courage for them to connect with you again, because they do have this kind of, not fear, but this kind of, they're a little bit worried, they're a little bit afraid. So you know, it's going to take a lot of courage for them to connect with you again. So try to be kind, try to be sensitive. I know you're like that anyway, but I think you've had to toughen up a lot as well after things that have happened to you, especially in love. So don't be in that kind of tough mode when they do connect with you again. I think they were just dealing with some, you know, some kind of, you know, they were struggling. They found some of the things around you a bit challenging. That's what I'm seeing there. So expect some contact from this person if you know who this is. That's what I'm seeing in that card. So the last card you have your past is the Three of Wands. So yeah, again, this person's waiting. They're waiting for you. I don't think they're waiting for you to connect with them, but they're sort of, or they were at this time, they might still be, they were sort of waiting for the right moment, I think. I'm getting this feeling that they want to contact you now. They'd love to really hurry up and do this. I'm just looking at this cloth or this band or whatever this is that's kind of over this man's back, over his cape or whatever that is. It looks a bit like checkers on a racing flag. So they'd like to hurry up. They'd like to hurry up with this communication, but they can't hurry up. They're kind of standing there waiting for their ships to come in. I think they're going to start off this connection or this communication by maybe just testing the waters a bit. They might do something like, you know, they might like a picture on your social media or something like that, or they might leave a little comment. You know, just to see how you feel about that, just to see how you react to that. I know this sounds like they're a coward, but they're not a coward, they're not. They're just a little bit unsure of your reaction. They're a little bit challenged by some aspects of your beliefs or something like that. Something spiritual, I'm seeing that again. You know, it's something like that. And I think they also think that you have a lot going in your career and all of that as well. So they're seeing you as someone who's kind of a bit high up there. That's what I'm seeing in that card. So the first card you have your present is the Magician. I love this card. This is fantastic. I'm getting rid of a deja vu here because I think this same kind of a thing might have been in your last reading. I don't know. I am seeing someone's learning from you. I think your mind's really sharp at this time. It usually is, but I think it's extra sharp at this time. And you're organised as usual. I think there's teaching and learning in this coming from both sides. The Magician can be a teacher. And I think you're learning from someone and they're learning from you, but they're a little bit like this. They're a little bit like the Magician. They're kind of quite special. They're kind of a bit magical, actually. You're learning from them. You're very capable too in your way, so they're learning from you. And yeah, you both have qualities that the other one finds a bit special and a bit magical, actually. You're magical as well. And you can do things they can't do. And they can do things you can't do. So you're learning from each other, you and this person. I think this person might be around your workplace. I think you've been working independently but around them for a while, and I think you might do something with them. You might be working with them on something that comes up. It might be coming up very soon, might be happening now. Excuse me, sorry about that. Or it might be in the future. I'm not sure what this is or when this is going to happen, but I am seeing that this is going to be very successful. And it's going to lead to other positive things as well. That's what I'm seeing. So yeah, so the next card you have for your present is the Queen of Wands. I'm seeing them in this card as well. This is this person who you work with. This is this person who you see as someone who is more than just a colleague. You might speak to them after work. They might be a friend of yours as well as a colleague. This is someone who, you know, what's standing out to me in this card is this cat, this black cat. You can just see his head peeking out at the bottom of this card. Now, cats aren't the most loyal people. Now, this person is loyal, but they come and go. So they might be there for a while, and then they might be away for a while, and then they might come back for a while, and then they might be away for a while, just like a cat. If you own a cat, you'll know that's very different from owning a dog. A dog is always loyal, they're always there, doesn't matter what happens, they're always kind of wagging their tail when you get in, and you know, they're all of that kind of thing. Now cats love you too, they do, they love you in their own way, but they like to explore, they come and go, so they don't seem to be super loyal to you, even if they are. So that's what I'm seeing around that as well. So you might have some issues in some time with them doing this to you, being a bit standoffish at one, not standoffish, but they're kind of going to be there some of the time, and then other times they're not going to be there. That's what I'm seeing around that. But generally I'm seeing positivity around this person. So the other thing I'm seeing in this card is 2 choices. Okay, so I hope this is going to make sense. I don't think these are choices that you have to make now. I think you'll probably be faced with this choice or these choices in your more distant future. But I think this is coming up now, because I think what you're doing now is going to lead to that choice for you. So I think maybe over the next few years, I think this choice is going to come up for you. Now, you're probably working on something, and I think this is separate from your regular work, and I think this is probably going to lead you to this choice. Now, this is going to involve moving. I think you'll probably have to make a choice between where you'd like to live, which might be, you know, a safe place or a quiet place or something like that, and where you might not like to live, but there's more work and there's more abundance and more opportunity in the second place. Because if you look at this queen and you look on the left hand side of the throne, there are some golden pyramids, so that's the golden opportunity. On the right hand side, there's kind of a boring looking footpath, but it might be safe. You know, if you're on a footpath, you're not on the road, you're not going to get run over, you're just walking along. If you're on the road, you know, there are all sorts of other crazy people on the road, obviously. So one choice is the safe one, but it's the boring one. The other one is the kind of more exciting one, it's the scary one. It might be the one that you might not like, but it's going to lead to more opportunities for you. So that's what I'm seeing. Now, I hope that's going to make sense. It might not make sense to you now, but down the road it probably will. And that's what I'm seeing, is this choice down the road. And I think it's a choice about where you're going to live or where you're going to move to or something like that. Now, that might be happening next year or the year after or the one after that. It's in the next few years. That's what I'm seeing. Excuse me. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I took a cough lolly. I had this cough drop because my throat's a bit sore, and I know I'm going to be talking a lot, but I'm kind of dealing with that. Sorry about that. I don't want to tell you the details of what's happening. You don't want to know that. So the last card you have for your present, I'm sorry, is the 10 of Cups. Beautiful. So this is obviously an extremely happy card. It might be the happiest card of all, actually, apart from the Sun card. I think this is something you've probably been dreaming about for a long, long time, thinking about this kind of a scenario, this kind of situation. Obviously, this is if you're single. You know, I think you've been through a lot of heartache. I think you've kissed a lot of frogs. I have too. You're not alone. You are going to find this happiness, but you know, it won't be like this stereotypical so-called perfect picture that you're seeing here. You're not super conventional. I'm seeing that in the High Priestess, and it brings up some issues for you sometimes around other people. You probably have ideas that some more conventional people might not agree with, and because you don't fit in perfectly into this kind of you know, 2 children, perfect husband and wife family, this person who you'll end up with might not, and probably does not fit into that either. Now, of course, this is all fine. I mean, but you might have to look a little bit beyond a certain type and open up your eyes to different kinds of people, different types of people, maybe. People that you might not normally have around you, might be that, or just opening your mind to new things. So when I see a rainbow, I think of inclusion, everyone blending in, all the colours blend into into each other, and they blend in perfectly, but they're all completely different. So yeah, there are so many different types of people, so many kinds of relationships as well, And I think the person who's right for you might be someone who you might be overlooking at this time. They might even be someone who's around you now, right in front of your nose. So, yes, I'm not saying that you have a narrow view or you have a set type that you're looking for, but I do think you do need to open your eyes a bit more. I'm just getting this feeling that there's probably someone who you might be dismissing again. I think they're probably right in front of you. I think they might be the perfect person for you. And the perfect person doesn't always fit these so-called perfect stereotypes. Usually they don't. So I hope you understand what I'm seeing. I'm just saying to broaden your mind a bit. That's what I'm seeing. So yeah, the first card you have for your future is the Nine of Swords. I actually think this might be about a family member, and I think they might have actually gotten themselves into some kind of a situation that they think they can't get themselves out of. Now they can, but they don't think that they can. That's what I'm seeing. I think you've tried to talk to this person many, many times actually, and you've tried to get them to get themselves out of this situation. You've tried to help them to help themselves. Now, I think to change this situation, they'd have to change their whole mindset, and I don't actually think they're able to do that. I think they're really set in their ways. If you look at the swords on this card, they look as if they're sort of locked into each other. If you look at the handles, they look locked, and these swords are kind of making a sort of a prison. They're making bars for this person, so they're making a prison for themselves because of their mindset. That's what I'm seeing. I think they might have some financial problems that are linked to all of this, and I think you do worry about them, but I think you have tried to help them. You've tried to help them many, many, many times, and it hasn't gotten anyone anywhere. So I think, I think they might have had this mindset for years actually, because the blue sections on this quilt are are made up of all the different signs of the zodiac, and that covers a whole year. So obviously this has been going on for a year or longer. And I know this might be hard for you, but I think you might actually just have to let the stress of this go, because you've done everything you can. And if this is resonating, of course you care about them, of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't be as worried, and it wouldn't be here if you didn't care about them. But you can only do so much with people who won't listen to you. You'll just have to try and let go of this, I think, because you've tried. Just tell yourself, I've tried everything I can, I've done everything I can, nothing is working. I can't let this stress me out. They're stressed, but if it's not working, there's no point in having two stressed people. It's not going to help anything. So I'm just going to have to let it go. So the next card you have for your future is the Wheel of Fortune. So yeah, this is fantastic. I love this. This is, you're coming into a really, really great cycle, a really positive cycle, especially around work and around money, I think, which is your favourite thing. I'm teasing you, I know. But yeah, this thing that I was seeing in the Queen of Wands, that you're working on, this is going to get a great, big, huge boost. This is going to be a boost of confidence, because I can't believe that now there's someone with a leaf blower or something ridiculous outside. I can't believe it. Right, okay, so back to this. Yeah, so you're going to get some, I think what's going to happen is, this is going to be the time when you're going to start to open this thing up. So you've had this project, you've had it kind of sitting there in isolation almost, you've kind of been keeping this to yourself, and now this is this time you're going to open this up to people, you're going to get some feedback on whatever this is. Now, not all of this feedback's going to be positive, but of course, that's what happens when you invite people in, you're going to get both positive and negative reactions. That's natural, that's normal, and I think you know that. I'm not seeing you worried about any negativity or taking any of this to heart, but there's also going to be positive feedback, of course, and there's going to be some really constructive feedback. That's the most important feedback. The feedback that's constructive, the feedback that can actually help you in a constructive way. That's the feedback you need to listen to the most. And I think that when you do open this up, this is going to feel a little bit experimental for you in a way. I think this is a small way to kind of sort of, test things out before you move on to bigger things, if that makes sense. This is something that's going to snowball, because I'm seeing this wheel turning around. And as a snowball turns around, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So as you move forward with this project, you do more things, it is going to grow. It's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. But yeah, this is going to be a really important step for you. This is a learning step, and it's a step toward this ultimate goal for you. That's what I'm seeing in that card. So the last card you have for your future is the 5 of Wands. So yeah, this is definitely this whole thing that you're going to be doing, opening this up for feedback. This is definitely going to be positive. I'm seeing people sort of, reviewing this, a lot of people. It's going to feel a little bit overwhelming, I think, at times. If you look at this card and all these people on this card, it is a bit overwhelming. Lots of people saying all sorts of things and getting in and chipping in and everyone having their say, and it's going to be like, oh. So take breaks from this if you need to. I think you are going to need to do that, and pace yourself so that you're not overwhelmed. Because again, you've had this project or whatever this is to yourself for a long time, and when something's suddenly exposed, it can make you feel a bit vulnerable. So there's going to be stress around this, absolutely, there is. But just remember that this is a step up for you. This is a step towards something bigger, something you really, really want. So keep that in mind. This is a learning time for you. This is going to be really, really helping you to learn and grow in so many ways. And it's going to lead to what I was seeing in the Queen of Wands. Eventually, you are going to have to move and make some kind of choice down the road, probably over the next few years, because of this thing that you're working on. That's what I'm seeing. So Capricorn, I hope this resonated. And, as you know, general readings won't always resonate with everyone. This lovely noise outside is not resonating with me, I can tell you that. But again, if you like this reading, please subscribe, please leave a comment if you'd like to. And thank you so much for watching.